Welcome back to the channel. Uh, I hope you guys are all doing well. I've been thinking lately about the gas prices and how expensive food is getting, and even the housing. I mean, the gas prices are just ridiculous. You know, a lot more than it was 20, 30 years ago, but it doesn't seem like it's coming down anytime soon. And the food, oh my goodness, the prices, man, it's too expensive to eat anymore, let alone eat out. And then the housing, I mean, it depends as to where you live at. I mean, it's ridiculous. You can rent an apartment for the same price, if not more, than you can for a mortgage payment. And it still ain't cheap. And all this just it's got me thinking about a community. I think as believers, we need to build a community, a group of people together that share things. Take, for example, like the Amish. The Amish have a community. And what they do is they have several different groups. They live in the same general area, and they're basically one big family. Now we have a couple Amish groups in this area, or Mennonite, and the Amish, they're like one big family. They help each other out as they have needs. If someone's barn burns down, or they need fencing put up, they all get together and they build a barn or they put up the fencing, and they don't charge each other for it. They just go in and help, and that's what a family does. They take care of each other and they meet their needs. So, what does the community look like? Well, it's like networking. You go and you network with different people, and you get to know different people. You build a friendship with all these different people, whether it be at church or whether it be just out, going hiking, or just doing different activities, maybe at the community center. But you try to build this network. And so community is just basically a group of friends, people that have the same, basically the same belief. You know, we got to put away our differences, our petty little differences. I mean, there are some things that we're just not going to agree on. I don't care what your belief is. If it's just little minor things, don't let that stop you from fellowshipping and going together with other people. I guarantee that where you're at right now, what church or what fellowship you're involved with, you don't agree 100% with everyone that attends there. And you're not going to find a church like that. You're going to find a church or a fellowship where people have different beliefs. And a community is also people that fellowship regularly. They go and they fellowship. Now, I'm not talking about church, where people go once or twice a week and then they go their separate ways. That's it. I'm talking about fellowship, people that get together and do things on a regular basis, or whether it be once a month, just a game night where you go out and play different games, or you just go out for get a group of people that just go out and have dinner together and just share stories. I mean, that's building a community, uh, and I think we need to learn as believers to barter and help each other out without cost. If you have a need and someone has a skill set to meet that need, you offer them something that you can do for them, and they come help you, you help them. Just the basic barter system. And I know that that's the way a lot of these Amish people do it. They do the barter system. Basically, they don't do it for pay to get, you know, X amount of money for this job. They do it because they're a family. And that's kind of what a community is like. We, as a family, or a group of believers, should be a family. Everyone's going to have their differences. Think about your own family. You know, your brothers or sisters, your parents, you're not going to agree on everything, but you stay together because you love each other and you fellowship. And that's just what being a family is all about. So if you actually look in Acts chapter 2, there's a fellowship of believers, and it talks about how they met each other's needs. They sold their possessions and gave it to the ones that were in need. They took care of each other, and they actually met daily for breaking of bread and fellowship. How come we don't do that anymore? When did that stop? Why did it stop? Why don't we get together and help each other? You know, I make this joke to my wife a lot over the years. Every time there's someone in a need in the church, it was always oh, well, they have a need, say, for a coffee pot. I have an old coffee pot. I'll give that to them, and I'll go out and buy myself a brand new coffee pot. What's wrong with that picture? You don't want to give them something old and used. Why don't you just go buy them a new coffee pot? Why are we giving everyone else a hand down of things that we don't want because it's old, it's falling apart, and a lot of times we're getting rid of it because we want something newer. Why don't we just go out and maybe sell something we have, or just go out and buy them what they have a need for? Um, and it's all about taking care of each other, um, meeting together, fellowshipping together, and that's what we need to start doing. And from what I see, based in scripture, and let's face it, the end is getting really near. And there's going to be a time real soon where we're not going to be able to afford food or gas or, all this stuff. We're not going to be able to afford to have a plumber come in and um, take care of our plumbing problems. So we need to find believers and we need to create our own community. We need a network with other people in our area that we can get together and help each other. Now, I'm not saying we have to go out and buy 300 acres of land and then everyone move to this piece of property so we can have a community physically all being there, although that would be nice, but not everyone can do that. So why don't we just network within our area, within, the surrounding towns out in the country, whatever, and just network so we all get together. And when, Billy Bob has a problem, we go out and help Billy Bob fix his fence or whatever. We help each other. That's what it's going to come down to, because we're not going to be able to afford food and gas and housing. If you have livestock or a farm, you know, I'll come over and do some plumbing for you, and you go ahead and you can give me some chickens in payment or whatever to help me out. I myself have chickens, and so we have a lady in the fellowship that we attend that wants eggs. So we give her a dozen or 2 dozen eggs every week. And we don't ask for money. We're just doing that and we're helping her out. I go over and help her with her, property, either, you know, pressure wash the deck or whatever she needs help with. I'll help her. I mean, she is a widow. She is older. And as I mentioned before, we need to take care of our widows. Um, but that should just be for everyone. We need to help each other out, especially if we are believers. We don't have to attend the same church. And that's what I get a kick out of is all these churches have these little groups that, it's, us four or no more. They have these little groups that get together and they meet all the time. Well, break out and get to know other believers. I I got news for you guys, because there's going to be more than Baptists in heaven. There's going to be more than Lutherans in heaven. There's going to be more than Pentecostals. There's going to be all different denominations in heaven. And why not get to know them now and fellowship with them? So I think if we're going to build a community, we got to network with fellow believers. We got to fellowship with them on a regular basis. We got to meet regularly, whether it's for just a bowling night. We all go out for bowling one night, or we uh, get together, just have games and fellowship and food. I mean, my thought is you always have to have food if you're going to fellowship. Those things kind of go hand in hand, but that's just my opinion. Not everyone likes to do that. And we take care of each other's needs. So I would encourage you to go ahead and try to find other believers in the area, people that um, you have a friendship with, that you can meet on a regular basis, and start developing that network and invite other peoples just to get together. I'm not saying to try to get people to come to your church. I'm talking about getting people together so you have that network, because it's going to come real soon where we're going to need to rely on each other. We're not going to be able to go down to Walmart and buy whatever we want whenever we want. We're not going to have the money. The rate things are going now, I, I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to be doing a lot of the barter system. I know there are a couple uh, places on the internet that you can go if you want to find fellowships. I know, and I'm not getting paid or any of that for this commercial, but I know 119 Ministries has a fellowship finder. You get on there and you can see all the believers in your area that you can reach out to and talk to and get to know. And I know Corner Fringe Ministries has the same thing. They have a fellowship finder. There's fellowship finders in the area that you can look up. You can get on there and look, see who's in the area, see, and maybe you can start building that connection, because I am sure that we're going to be needing it sooner than later, and we need to get in practice now, because when the Father comes, He's coming, and we need to make sure we're ready. But before He gets there, it's going to get a lot worse. So we're going to have to definitely rely on each other. So I hope you take that to heart. I hope you think about that and go out and grab yourself some friends and fellowship, have a meal together, take care of each other's needs, and build yourself a community. God bless.